Okay, hello everybody. How are you? Happy Aloha Friday. It is December 12th. We are already at almost midway through December. And wow, what another doozy of a week of news. I was expecting this, and there are some very certain transits that when these things start to pass, I'm like, yes, I expected that. We're on track. That is good news, even though everything is burning up and the world is going crazy and there's insanity. There is order in all this, and that's why every lunation I'm trying to talk with you guys and describe to you what I'm seeing and how it fits in the bigger picture. And there's just this common theme that keeps being woven throughout the year. So I want to talk about some of those things tonight as we head into the new moon Sagittarius. But let me say hello to you all. Hi, whoops. There goes my timer, you guys. It's time to start. Okay, how are we? It is Saturday. I am kind of tired. We had a party here last night, and I'm just a little, taking it all in, all that Christmas cheer. So how are you? Hi, Carolyn, and our fellow forest dwellers. So happy to see you guys. Good evening, MK Miller and DCP Downing. Hi, Renee and Robin. And Paisley, and Apple hasn't ended yet. We are pushing along, Apple. Hi, Jules. Yes, hello, and Michelle. Hi from Soggy, Washington State. I did not know you guys were soggy right now. And hello, I'm afraid not. And Charlie, Sage of Fire. Hi, Cynthia. Free Spirit. Sandra, I'm so lucky you guys hang out with me even at these odd times, like everyone should be off to Christmas parties and the such. And yes, it is Friday, Electra. Okay, here we go. So, lots of big news this week. Like I keep saying, I just am not even chucking in with the news because when I think about him during the week, he feels so puny and small, like he does not have a huge fortress around him. I know that they've really consolidated power, and I would expect to have like a heftier, stronger, heavy feel of him with all that power almost, propelling him to like a throne. But he almost just feels like any other person with a presence, and same with his cabinet. It is really shrinking around him, and I've had some really interesting visions about him this week, and the word that keeps coming to my mind this week is gone. Gone. These things are gone. And what I like about this word so much is that, when we do our new moon wishes and our intentions and we say the things that we want, well, when we're saying, I want no more of this, no more of that, it always comes from sounds like it comes from a point of lack. And even when you say no to something, law of attraction includes it in your experience. But this word gone does not have that resistance. It just defines it as is gone. So they're gone. They're done. They're gone. So this has kind of been repeating through my mind this week is gone, gone, gone. And that is exactly how he feels. In fact, I want to tell you guys about this vision before I forget about it. I have to pick up from, when did this vision start? A couple weeks ago, maybe a month ago. I was trying to describe my experience and the visions I get with people who pass away, namely my uncle, and that I had seen him in January. He passed away in March. But between that time of January and March, I just kept seeing this giant thing, and I could only equate it to like the sandworms from the movie Dune. There are these giant sandworms on this planet full of sand. There's, what do they say? They're like 1,200 meters long. So if they're that long, they're very tall, probably, 100 feet tall in diameter. And so they travel across these sands at accelerated speed. They're very fast. You don't really see them. They just kind of coast by in the distance, and they're revered. They're sacred. So when I was seeing, when I was thinking about my uncle, last time I saw him in January, he had passed away in actually May. as death came closer to him, it was like this thing was approaching him, kind of like a sandworm, but if you want to think of it as being translucent or transparent and not in sand at all, it was just kind of that giant structure coming towards him and coming towards him. And I think I said like around January, February, it was like I could see my uncle standing here, but over here in the distance, like maybe it was down the block, like a city block, you could see that thing coming. And at the time, I didn't know what that thing was. I just knew it was something that was meeting him at his transition. February, March, April, this gets closer, closer, closer. I go out to see him in May, and now this thing looks like, I have a large backyard, but it looks like it's like at the end of my backyard. It's close. It's really close. It's like you could see it. It could accelerate at any moment. But then I went and saw him. When I came home and I left, it was like this giant structure. The giant circle was like at his doorstep. So now forget anything about a worm. Now the structure is this great big circle. And he is there, and it's like it has met him. It's like he's standing it's like he's standing in the doorway. Right here. And then I was home for a couple days, and then this thing, it just totally, when I felt it come over him and kind of, it came down like that, like a thud, and he was in it. He had passed away within a day or two, okay? So, as I was describing last time, Donald, I was seeing this sandworm thing approaching him. And it was like right there. And it was really close, except he like was standing there. But he's got like these two beings. I don't know if they're spirits or not, but it's like they're all talking. And this thing is like standing here. And they're talking. And so I was so convinced it was right there. And I think this is around one of the times that he disappeared for a while. Nobody knew where he was. He disappeared for like a week. He never does that. Well, so this thing I have felt like all fall. It's like he is standing in the doorway of this thing. And for whatever reason, it keeps standing there. And then this fall, it was like this thing was being propped up. Okay? It couldn't move forward. It couldn't fall over. It was just propped up. And then it seemed to like kind of shrivel and kind of like dry up. And it's just kind of been there at his feet and just, dried out. This week, you guys, this thing like inflated again. It was like fully hydrated. And it was very round at the end. And it was like it wanted to burst. Like, it's like right there, ready to burst. But since then, and that was kind of like midweek, that happened. But now it's kind of relaxed down a little bit. It's not relying on these things. But I'm telling you guys, it's like so close to him. And being this close to him, and with the transits that have been happening during Sagittarius season, especially as we get to this new moon in Sagittarius right before the solstice, man, that one just clobbers him again. And I will explain why to you guys, okay? So, you guys get that? How are you doing? Hi, Carrie. Hi, Moonchild. I'm afraid not. Sounds like a portal to the inner planes. Yeah, it is definitely something that is transporting and dealing with one's transition and going somewhere else. Hi, Top. AZ. Did I say everything? Electra, he's saying he'll pull out our troops in 2027 from Europe. It's not going to happen. He just says that shit. It's to say crap, to get people to stop talking. Just like he always says, yeah, give me 2 weeks, we got a plan. Everyone quits bugging him about it. And it's also to give that shock value to really take people off a subject. And with this most recent event, with the boats, and now people are seeing what's happening to that admiral getting thrown under the bus, and he is in trouble. There are going to be less likely people who want to participate in that. He's going to get more resistance. In fact, here's my cards. I didn't get to talk about this last time, but I had a great big huge aha about this. We're going to talk about this some more. But and I got to go fish these cards out again. I've always said my Sagittarius 9th house cards, since maybe even since before inaugurations, those two cards always show up with what takes him out of office. Where's my 9th house? Water. Well, those are the secrets. That's the military. This is on the world stage. There you go. Okay. These two cards are always the two that take him out. And you know who came up with these two cards when Admiral, I don't know what his name is, got thrown under the bus? That Admiral came up with this. So I was like, it so has to do what's going on in our waters, off our coast, and what he's doing with the military. This came up prominently with some others, but that was just kind of mind-blowing. Another piece of the puzzle as to what takes him out and why he's done. So let's see. The other things I want to tell you guys with the transits this week that I'm just like, wow. As you know, we're in Sagittarius season. It is a mutable sign. The other mutable signs are Pisces, Gemini, and Virgo. And we've been having these eclipses since 2024. They have been in Virgo and Pisces. And so, oh wow, I am getting a really high-pitched. What is that? That kind of high pitch, that is a different high pitch. What is this about? And it's not even a pitch. It almost is this high note that almost sounds like it has pixie dust on it. If a sound could shimmer, that's what that is. That is very interesting. 7th house partners, what are you telling me that it has to do with this? Venus, love, money. This, okay. This has to do with divine feminine. That is what I'm getting myself to. And I just totally lost my train of thought on what I was talking about right before that came in. So we are in these eclipses. The eclipses are in Pisces, Virgo. They're mutable signs. Right now, the sun is in Sag. The moon, when you put this in a grand cross, the full moon was in Gemini, okay? So this is a grand cross. We've been having the eclipses here. And so they square off with the midpoints, which are the other mutable signs. And coincidentally, these mutable signs, that is Donald's sun. Nope, this is Donald's sun. This is his moon. Your moon is your physical body, your emotional body. Your sun is your soul expression, your creativity, your life force. And so when we've been having these eclipses in Virgo, Pisces, so those happen like at the end of the winter and the end of the summer, well, we're at the end of the fall. These things, they're squaring off. And when we have eclipses, that's when the sun and moon have placements such that either the earth is being eclipsed, so we see the shadow on the moon, or the moon is being eclipsed and we see the moon against the sun. And when the moon is against the sun, that's the solar eclipse. Otherwise, it's a full moon lunar eclipse. And when the sun and moon have something in between them involving Earth, it's like the geomagnetic path of the sun and moon and Earth are like permanently disrupted. The energies, it's like a new platform. This is why you're always forced to change when we have eclipses, because it like resets the Earth's crust, and we conduct electricity through our bodies, through our feet. You can't avoid it no matter where you are. Even if you're in a plane in the sky, you're still getting eclipsed somehow. So sun and moon are involved in eclipses. It involves the sun, your soul's expression, your moon, your physical body. These eclipses are in square to Donald's sun and moon. That's why these eclipses and these illuminations, especially when we're like halfway to the next set of eclipses, are so hard on his body, because it's like he has to adjust quickly. His body isn't doing well. His body is not keeping up. The aging is going faster than the replenishing and the life force, okay? And we are all seeing that. We're all seeing that. So we are right in the midst of these eclipses. When we have our new moon Sagittarius on the 19th, the sun and moon will be conjunct at 28 degrees Sagittarius. That, I got my list here. I'm going to tell you what that does. I wrote it down. Oh my gosh. First of all, no, that was our quarter moon. Our quarter moon that we just had yesterday, that set off Lionsgate from last summer. And Lionsgate has everything to do with the leader and the soul and the sun and the expression of the leader. It is a portal where all these forces come funneling through and ushering through. You can kind of feel it for about a month in the summertime. It was not a good Lionsgate for Donald. And that was at 14 degrees Leo. And we had this quarter moon yesterday on December 11th. And what was anchoring the chart was Lionsgate at 14 Leo. Exactly. So it's like this quarter moon, crisis quarter moon, it's setting him up from this summer and all that crap he was doing that was leading to eclipses. This rests on that foundation. And this 14 degree mark, the 14, 15 degree Leo, that's one of the most lethal degrees in the zodiac, because when it comes to your heart, your meridians, that's like the point at which the yang flips to yin with the energies. It's like everything kind of flips at that point, the way the energies are flowing, okay? So this is what's greeting him for this new moon that we are having on the 19th. And then we have the solstice. But this here is also setting up 9/21. We had, oh geez, you guys, a new moon solar eclipse at 29 Virgo. So it's squaring this. You know what else was at 29 Virgo? Asteroid Roberts. So he is definitely an active player. Something is going to shift. Something has to give. And then this also picks up from the 2024 full moon eclipse near the same date. And that was in 27 Virgo, 27 Pisces. So do you guys see how these things, it's like this new moon really clobbers him. It is a midpoint in between eclipses, but it is a square. It is a massive trigger to what's going to happen. Okay, I want to know what happened at Lionsgate that is acting like an eclipse trigger from this quarter moon. I want to know what happened this last fall with that new moon solar eclipse involving Roberts. Ooh, this feels... I want to know what was happening. So, no, I'm not going to do that because that was before the election. I'm being told, no, it's just that it's too much information. This is leading to our new moon trigger point, new moon Sag. This won't go down. It's in the air. And this one goes with it in the air. Oh, because we haven't gotten there yet. Look at that. The sun, the spirit, the sun representing a leader. We're just going to go with POTUS on this one. So what happened at the Lion's Gate in the middle of the summer that's caught up in this? Oh my gosh, Neptune sacrifice. I just got this. These are the people in the boats that are being sacrificed. Yeah, that's getting caught up in here. I want to see what he meant to get away with, but how it's actually playing out. What he meant to get away with, and it's actually playing out like this. He meant to get away with the Queen of Wands. He is a new leadership. He is trying to assert us as a country, like this is our right. We're going forward. I am going to lead us down this path because what is he expecting with that? Page of Pentacles, money, assets, yes, their people, their resources. It is a scapegoat, and for everyone to buy into it. But actually what's happening, we've got so this is my card in this deck. There's extra cards. So this is what's actually happening. It's like you thought this was going to happen, but what's actually happening to you, this is like a government instructing him, or the people who are in charge instructing him. People in charge instructing him. Instructing him. Ace of Pentacles, there is nothing in this. There is of no value doing this. This is a bad idea if you're going to think about assets and what you want. No, this is killing us. This is killing us. The Three of Swords. This is your treason. There is like no turning back. And what's the challenge here? Defenses. We do not have a lot of defenses defending you here. So that is what's catching up with him from Lionsgate, which was just in the middle of August or so. About. How are you guys doing? How are you doing? The incredible shrinking man. Only government can say where data centers go, not states. I did not know that, Charlie. Hi, Karen. Oh, wait. I am way far behind here. Okay, DCP. Does Neptune going direct have on all that is happening currently? I'm so glad you asked me that question because that was something else I wanted to get to. On the 28th, we had Saturn to go direct. Yesterday, we had Neptune go direct at this crisis third quarter moon that is really setting him up badly. But there's even more that happened with this Neptune going direct, and it's really, really good. Okay, so I wanted to know here, then, this new moon solar eclipse in September. Now, remember, we had 2 new moons in Virgo, which is what made the summer feel like it went on forever. It's why we had such a warm fall, a lot of warm weather well into the fall. And that double new moon had eclipse energy, a full moon eclipse in the middle, and then on the 29th degree, a new moon solar eclipse. So what is getting swept up now? Wow. Leo, I will. Who is this stuff? It is, with Roberts being there, I feel like it's almost like this is a plan. You have to stick with the plan. This is where we're going. It's kind of like all those people. There goes my throat. it's kind of like all those entities, you know, like Heritage and everyone. It is saying, this is what we're going to do because you are now a king. Making him a king. What he thought he was going to get going forward with this. The actual Robert's, where does Robert's foot? Up here. Oh, because he's trying to act like he's not part of this, and he's got comms going. But anyway, so Donald thought he was going to get this, the Two of Swords. He was going to be able to separate himself from this stuff, separate himself maybe from the Constitution, and just, you know, home stretch. Here we go. I'm separating us from everything. Look at that moon. But what's actually happened? The Ten of Swords, we're done, Donald. I'm also getting that, okay, let's just cut straight to it. We got a lot to get done because I don't have a lot of time here with my health. We're toast. It's almost like let's fast track all this stuff before they get me. Roberts up here is like, oh, look at that devil card. He is the one that is helping to pull strings with the devil. Oh my gosh. You know, that's usually like to putz, the transnational mob. Who is he talking to? What is he talking about? Who is Roberts in talks with? Oh my gosh, this Aquarius sign. This is the grand plan. This is the new democracy, the new visionary. Wow, what an a-hole. You guys, he is so at the crux of this. So Roberts thought he was going to get this. They'd be able to separate themselves and get on their defenses to protect themselves. But Roberts is saying we're actually Ace of Pentacles square one. Oh my gosh. Remember Lionsgate had this reversed? Like, back away. We can't do this stuff in the ocean, it seemed. There's nothing here. So it's like they're back at square one, trying to figure out how to get the narrative with the transnational mob. Oh my gosh. Can you believe this guy? Theocracy, right? Yes, he is. Yeah, Opus Dei. I'm just so happy that we have our Pope. And by the way, Chicago teams have been really doing very well since he was named Pope. We can't believe it in football and in hockey. We're just clipping along at a pace, I think, faster than anybody expected. So we'll take that. So here we've arrived. This is the new moon Sagittarius at 28 degrees Sag, which is a very difficult degree for Donald because it's like everything is, it's like we're being propelled forward to the next step. And it's like they don't have a lot of defenses, you guys. It's kind of like they got their backs against the wall. I know I keep saying that, but it's getting dicey for them. Scorpio, Saturn, and Truth. Holy cow. So the truth shall set you free. We are at Scorpio, a major transition, transformational point. It is at the midpoint of these eclipses, but ew, I'm getting a lot of ew. You know, that guy, that Epsi person, that whole thing gross, and the truth coming. Oh gosh. Shield. Push it away. That is just the grossest energy. I wasn't expecting to walk into that. Out. Gone. Okay. It is evaporating. I'm still going to hang on to this. Going forward. So that's kind of that. And this is what's going forward is the truth. They can't hide it from it. Can you guys believe that, like, the press has been a little bit more direct with Don Julio these days? I do want to get to that thing about Neptune direct that you mentioned. Where is this? Okay. So nice to know we are at a critical junction here. I'm going to show you more about that. E916. Was that a recent video? I'm intrigued. I don't know if you're talking about that. Oh, you're talking with Robin. Dennis, he can't time travel anymore, and that is how he's been used to staying alive, but his 9 life, it absolutely is. Just Joy, is it the Pope releasing OD? Absolutely. He doesn't have anything to do with it. They have to have their plan, but they have to make sure they do it legally, and they, make it watertight, because these guys will challenge them at every point. We've seen the desperate place that they have trying to do it otherwise here. I'm afraid not. That energy must reflect the pictures the Oversight Committee just got from the EPS estate. Yeah, I saw some of that. Was very disturbing. And it's got roots, you guys. There's no... Ew, you guys, I'm going to tell you right now, at this new moon Sagittarius, an intention wish you're going to want is to shield yourself from all the disgusting grossness, because it's so big. It is coming, and it is... it is gross. It is right there, you guys. Ugh. Paisley grabbed her selenite wand. Good. Paisley got a boo bad. What is with all these boo bad, you guys? I always get them. It's so annoying. Pluto. Neptune's on top of the position of the creation of the GOP. Yes, it is. What's with the Pope dope holy water Batman? Yes. The Republican Party's sun is 29 Pisces. Now, we have Neptune there. It went direct. And what happened? The Indiana GOP said, heck no, we are not going to redistrict for you. Despite all the threats they got. Indiana, ruby red state. Holy cow. Thank you, Indiana. I'm so proud of you guys for saying no and standing up to that, because you can show everyone else how it's done, and it's easy. It doesn't have to be painful. And we have Saturn on its way. What is it, at 26 Pisces now? To stable this, and, everything we've ironed out here, all the disillusionment, all the gaslighting, all the lies, all the propaganda, like this stuff is ready to steamroll over this and just flatten all that crap. It is part of their demise. I think Saturn goes into Aries February 14th, so it'll be interesting that week ahead of that, even from the beginning of February, what is happening. Oh boy, I just got that. I don't know if it's mass resignation. Something is happening during that time because of that Saturn transit that Saturn also separates and severs. So it's like a lot of separation is going on. The healing. What is this? This is, I don't know if this is data that's coming out. The big wound of the... Oh, and the betrayal. Oh, boy, there is a lot going. People are going to be pissed off. It's going to be very interesting at the beginning of February. And Roe was decided when the sun was 29 degrees Pisces. This is why that party has used it, for the whole... their moral reasoning, holier than thou, and it's why they have held possession of it. Like, Roe doesn't belong to the people. It's always going to belong to us. And we will be the alpha and the omega when it comes to Roe. That is how delusional these people are. When they get so stoked in their own Neptunian lies and storybooks, stories that they tell. Wow, I'm telling you guys, this Saturn Neptune is going to be so great. Again, this spring, I think I talked about that last time. That is really going to be really, really good. But before, I can't believe I haven't forgot it already, but before I forget, let's talk about that Neptune going direct and everything else related to that. Okay. Have you guys seen the latest South Park? the latest South. I can't believe they get in trouble with this. They don't get in trouble in this stuff. And maybe that's why there's all these negotiations to get a hold of, is it Paramount, who now has South Park, but it's like they want to take over that. I feel like this is like a different way to get their hands on South Park and make that end. Just like Satan's butt baby ending. And hanging itself, spoiler alert. There goes my, I just can't believe they get away with this stuff. So if you guys haven't seen any of the South Park episodes that started this fall, every single episode is highly enjoyable and entertaining, and oh my gosh, takes you to new places you never thought we could go in the entertainment or imagination industry. Okay. Paisley, is Washington State flooding Neptune related? I would absolutely say so, because we've been in this grand water trine that, whereas I'm sorry you guys are getting so much flooding. You have Saturn and Neptune. Saturn is low pressure. Neptune, it brings up, I think, all that water from the south and the moisture from the south. Low pressures are stationary. Being in a grand trine with Jupiter expands it. With Mercury in Scorpio, fixed sign, entrenches it and brings that much more intensity and that much more devastation. Mercury moved out of Scorpio. And you're seeing these weather patterns in a lot of different places. During this grand water trine, I'm in the Midwest, and I have had over 20 inches of snow since Thanksgiving. Some of it has melted off, but and then I was like, oh my gosh, my pumpkins are still on my front steps. I totally forgot about them because there was that much snow that we set records here for our snowfall amount, and we're supposed to get more. So absolutely. And those were all related to the typhoons and monsoons happening on the other hemisphere. Okay. So absolutely that's related. When we get into Capricorn season, it should temper that a little bit. We've got all this activity in Sagittarius that even though planets are changing signs, they're still agitating in that regard. But we should move out of this. But, hold tight, you guys. Neptune direct. Neptune went direct yesterday. It's my cousin and my uncle's birthday. Both of them have passed away recently. And I could just feel how big and awesome their energies were all day yesterday. So, Neptune goes direct. Now watch me lose my notes. Here we go. This is so good, you guys. I have to make sure. Okay. So, we have Neptune go direct. What else did we have? Well, yesterday, Mars was 27 degrees Sagittarius, which is the 2019 Divine Feminine. I think we talked about this last time, about how she was showing her face again and like F you with all this crap. 27 degrees 07 minutes. The galactic center of the universe conjunct Jupiter and Venus. The return of the Divine Feminine. She's been hard at work. And that Mars is a warrior. Aries, the god of war, who got shredded yesterday so badly she had to leave a hearing. This was absolutely a strike. I know. Show me, Divine Feminine, can you show me your wrath on her yesterday? She's like, yeah, this isn't right. She is nasty. Mercury retrograde. We have some unfinished business here and some details we want to take care of. The Divine Feminine's ooh. Isn't that something? The ninth house, faith associated with Sagittarius. And the position of the Divine Feminine. The higher thinking, reasoning, the law, the philosophy. talking about the big picture here and coming with evidence, and Gnome having to deal with the messages that were being thrown her way. She could not get out of it. You know what? Okay. Shield. Christy Gnome is like, She can't believe these people had the nerve to talk to her like this because she talks so nice and straight. Oh, she's pissed. She's so pissed. She is more scared than pissed because she feels very, very small here. She got a whooping. And she did slink out the back door. Ooh, at 5 of Wands. Really got her the kicker, but I just feel like this is like a 2x4 between the eyes. Whack, she got whacked. And stumbling, trying to find an answer and get out of this. The King of Swords, those questions were coming at her with authority. There's no wiggle room with the strength of this. Getting into exposing the secret talks discussions she had with what they were going to do with people that were deported. She's so mad. The Knight of Cups, how she's related with the administration. She talks a good game, but actually these are our service people. We have the other story, and this just makes her feel very, 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 very small. Part of fortune, not so fortunate. The timing of all of this. She can't right the ship on this. She can talk her way out of things. She can't right the ship out of this. The government, the hearing is saying, I'm going to tell you, well, she doesn't have the upper hand on this. And she wants to make it go away, but it's very embarrassing for her because the government, 7 of Cups, sees through all your... Oh gosh, that Ace of Swords just got right through her, and there's no card for her because she left. This is how powerful it was for her. There goes my throat. Like almost can't breathe, the level of discomfort. And like I said earlier, this is the thing that's catching up with them earlier, as I said that earlier. So that was the first thing. The divine feminine has come back. How are you guys doing? Oh, yes, Goldman ate her for lunch. The 2x4 got her into office. Yeah. Yeah, she had to face the vet. She deported. Thank goodness. What else do we have here? Busted, but she will. Divine Feminine said, hold my beer, Gnome. Exactly. Okay, so that happened. It happened at the 3rd quarter moon. And Mercury also went into Sag that day. So what happened is Scorpio's been doing a lot of hard work. It's been very uncomfortable. We have not enjoyed it. But now Mercury, the retrograde coming forth, it'll come out of shadow soon. But Mercury has the goods. In Sagittarius, we've got this hearing going on. And there's a lot of stuff that Scorpio has been digging up. The other thing that happened related to this, that I was like, oh my gosh, this is so perfect. Did it happen this day too? Did I write it down here? Okay. So Neptune went direct. Actually, I'm sorry. I have Neptune actually going direct on the 10th. Yesterday was the 11th. We saw the benefit of that. But that actually was the 10th. I have that for Wednesday. I had posted this on Blue Sky, and I thought this was just such a telling example of Dark Moon Lilith. I talk about Dark Moon Lilith all the time as being such a critical point on the chart. Dark Moon Lilith is that point in which the moon is farthest away from Earth. When the moon is closest to Earth, we get our supermoons, and the moons look so giant in the sky, especially as the moon is rising over the horizon. Dark moon Lilith, the moon looks tiny when it's farthest from Earth. And I've always likened this to being far, far away from home, the safety of home being on Earth, and that you are really left to the mercy of the elements, that if you are in trouble, you are left for dead. Nobody cares about you. They will abuse you, use you, hurt you, and leave you. And so what also happened, Neptune going direct, Neptune also representing water, endless, boundless water, our oceans. We had Mercury, the messenger, conjunct Dark Moon Lilith, and we found out through the Washington Post the problems the administration defense were having with people who were surviving attacks with their boats blowing up, and not wanting to give them habeas corpus and allowing them to be brought to court. They wanted to send them to other countries so we didn't have to deal with them. And that was very, very dark. And then what did we find out later in the day? Aha! We seized a tanker. I want to know, what is that story that came out about those people vulnerable in the ocean to, aha, we have a tanker? What is that relationship? Aries, I'm going to seize a tanker. I'm going to leave you for dead. That news that came out. The Knight of Wands, what are we going to do about these people in the ocean? Oh my gosh, there's that Ace of Pentacles again. We don't want to bring them to court. What are we going to do with that? What is the relationship to, oh my gosh, that 9th house faith card again, having to do with the law, seizing a tanker. What does this have to do with seizing a tanker? Because they probably have had it in their cards for a while. There's no cards upright, meaning this is all a challenge. The United States of America, the Queen of Cups, 4 of Pentacles, bearing down. America is bearing down on Don Julio, but he's also trying to bear down on the government and how he wants to run it. But we seized it because 3 of Pentacles. They do not have control of the narrative. Things are just not working out the way they want them to. The 2 of Pentacles there. Look at ships in the background and waters that are kind of disturbing, and what's the word I'm looking for? Well, you guys know. Oh my gosh, and the 10 of Cups. Gosh, my throat. Is this? It's because he's doing so poorly. He is doing so poorly. This is with family or the Republic. Because he's doing so poorly with everybody, and he just needs to get his footing and everybody else and direct them on what they need to do. They were working on it for a while, but it's just so telling that it came out that day. That on that day that Mercury's conjunct Dark Moon Lilith and we get that horrible news, his response is, well, you made me feel abandoned. I'm going to take this from you. There's a lot of retribution there. He is such a sick, sick, sick person. Okay, so I have covered the things that I wanted to cover with just some of these things happening this week, because I didn't want another week to go by before our new moon. Our new moon is not for another week because the moon is slowing down, you would have thought that we would have had regularly a new moon possibly by Wednesday next week, but we're not. It's going to be, I believe, on Friday, December 19th, okay? And that's going to be a really important new moon, and we have some work to do. So we will definitely get together. I do want to get together before that new moon, but we've got lots of work to do, you guys, okay? Do you guys have any questions before we sign off? I just wanted to make sure we had a quick get together here. I know it's the holiday weekend. Beat to quarter cried, Lord Hex. My gosh, that guy is just... Oh, and somebody is home. This is good timing. So, you guys got anything else? He's doing so poorly, he should be learning to eat worms. I haven't heard that song. Nobody likes me. Everybody hates me. I guess I'll go eat worms. Okay. Super Dougie wants to know, how's your S life? I don't know. If you have to ask about it, Super Dougie, that doesn't sound good. Oh, it's looking quite hopeful there. Wow. Electra, the Chicago Bears doing another Super Bowl shuffle. Oh my gosh, I'm too biased here, but yes, it's on HBO. Are they doing another Super Bowl shuffle? It's possible. They could possibly do it. I have my doubts. It's been very, very long. Okay, thank you, Just Joy. Thank you, Caroline. We will... It's a joke. It's no joke. Okay, good night. You guys have a great evening. We'll talk to you next week, okay?